Mm-hmm. All right. Given two arrays A and B, let me have my VS Code open. This is, let's, accepting two arrays. If array A elements are exactly copied into array B elements by squaring. So, for example, here's a valid array that we could have. So regardless of the order, 11 times 11 is 121. I'm assuming 19 times 19 is 361. 361, 361. So there's a couple of ways that are first jumping out. And I'll try both of them. Approach 1. Sort both arrays. Then compare BI is equal to AI squared. So that's one way to do it. Approach number 2, square each index in A array, or square each element. Sort, compare. Object keys is also, and log in. Okay, so approach 3, create an object with the key. Create an object with the key being the unsquared number and values being squared numbers. Unsukar. And then B, check for the square root of element in. This one might be tricky though because we'll overwrite them. So this is going to be difficult to check. Notes, multiple keys will overwrite. So what if I do it at their... We'll come back to this one. This one could be something, but I want to focus on the other two first for right now. Accepting two arrays and comparing if A elements are exactly copied into B elements by squaring. We're going to be taking in two arrays of the same length, ideally. There is a fourth approach that is coming to mind, actually, though. Make a third array of all the elements in the first array squared. Some of these are going to be tricky. I see where the difficulty is. It's the same multiplicities. So not only do they have to have the same elements, but they have to have the same number of each element. Maybe I'll bring back that object then. Because here we can have an object with like unsquared number and like the number of times we've seen it counter. Whoops. And so we make the object, we add the unsquared number in the counter, and then for each of the ones in B, we check for the square root and we subtract 1 from the counter. And then at the end, we just return if the object, if all of the counters are 0. That seems to be the way that I'm going to go about it first. So let's try that. Let's do... first off, we will just console log AB. Oh, okay, sorry about that, the vet called, but my cat's doing good, so we're gonna go back to some coding really quick. We were here, I'm just gonna full screen this for a second. Control B, okay. So here it's just console logging the two of them, that's fine. Cool. So, we want to let's do compare object dot keys. If it does include it, then compare object element plus equals 1. Otherwise, if it doesn't include it, then compare object at that element is going to equal 1. And we will return compare object. Let's see what we get. Includes, cannot read properties of undefined. Okay. Maybe my keys. Oh, it's because it's uppercase. Silly. Nope, still not. Cannot read properties of undefined reading includes. Oh, okay. Wait, it is an array though. Well, I guess it's an array of 0 length, so it's undefined. So let's do 0. Oh, object.keys. I see. Okay. So we have to do object dot the method of iterating the keys on the compare object. And if that includes, let's check, sick. 19 should appear twice. Why is it not appear? I mean, I'll keep this structure and I could do for let I equals 0. I plus 19 should be at 2, and I am getting, oh, because it's less than or equal to. Why is 19 only coming in once, though? It's not triggering that. Why is this one not triggering, is the question. Let's do this for a second. If this console with I, so we're never making it in here because it never includes it. But it does include it here. Maybe I have to do like... Ah, that's it. Okay. So let's get rid of this to string. Is back. Sweet. Okay. I'm gonna go back and copy paste the actual array. Beautiful. Okay. So now we have our compare object set. Now all we have to do is B for each element in the compare object if it includes... What is the square root in JS? Math.square root. Okay. The square root element. Oh, whoops. Then we're going to go through and we're going to subtract 1. And if it doesn't have it, if the key array that we get back from compare object includes the square root of the element turned into a string, if it does include it, we're going to subtract 1 from our counter. And if it does not have it, we are going to add compare object, this const square root equals, not the square root element to string. Because this is going to be a lot to retype over and over again. Instead of element, we'll just say square root everywhere. Otherwise, compare object square root equals 1. Whoops. So, ideally, if this works, we should see a list of the, like an object with a bunch of different keys, but they should all have 0 at the end. Cool. Okay. And say we added in 15 at the end of everything. So let's go down here and we're going to return compare object.values on the compare object dot reduce a b a plus b is 0. Object array is not a function. Oh, whoops. Okay, we're gonna do A1 and B1. A1 and B1. I see why. Let me look at my reduced method. Sweet. Okay. So let's do some test cases. Oh, then I'll go up here and I'll do does not equal b.length or a.length equals undefined, or if b.length is undefined, return false. And then I can check that by going down here. True, false. Well, I guess technically this last one would be true. Well, let me read back on the Codewars. What does it say? Let's try this and see where it gets us. Cool. Can I read property of length of null? Oh, is it just giving me... Okay, we'll just do if a equals undefined or b equals undefined. Okay, I'm gonna actually go in here then, and because I'm getting a false here, oh, I see why I'm getting true. Okay, so maybe reduce isn't the way. I had not considered that this would be an issue. So it's returning true because they add up, but I want to check if everyone is 0. Can I check if each array element is the same? So I'm going to do instead object.values. Instead of this, I'm going to do .every. That takes in a callback function. And then every element Element is 0. And now I should get false for this. Okay. That's what I needed, not reduce. If A is undefined, or B equals undefined, return false. Okay. Let's see what's going on. So I'm going to just false for both of them. Okay. Okay. That works. Attempt. 1 failed. Let's see what our exit code is. Canary property for each of null. Huh? I don't understand. Let's try this again and see. Sweet. Looks good. Yeah, I'll take this. Okay. Submit. Oh, see, okay, so they sorted it. Oh, and they mapped it. Ooh, this is kind of smart. Okay, so they mapped the array to an additional array where they multiplied each of the elements to each other and then checked that in every one of that array at... Oh, because they sorted it. I was like, at the specific index. That was where they found it in array 2. Interesting. Okay. Oh. We can have 2 of them? Double not. It's possible to use a couple of not operators in a series to explicitly force the conversion of any value to a boolean. Oh, okay, so it just... True, this would be true, any object. Okay. So this is checking if they're undefined. So if they're both not undefined, and the map of each of the elements to a new array where they're squared, we sort them and join them. Oh, I guess it's just make it one long string to compare it to B sort join. That's an interesting approach. I kind of like this one too. I'm going to take a 5-minute stretch and then we'll come back for another one.